Having gotten my stack started with some gold and silver American Eagles, to what would I turn my attention to next? More bullion coins? Some rounds? Or perhaps some bars? No, I wanted to go back in history for my next acquisition. What I wanted was some old historical American coins. My goal is to obtain coins that were visually attractive, in good condition, and, this was the key point, coins which were no longer in circulation. When the dust had settled, I had added some silver dollars to my stack. So let's take a look at what I picked up, while also taking a jaunt back in time to learn more about the history behind the American silver dollar. In my first video, I discussed my initial entry into stacking and my first ever purchase, some gold and silver American Eagles. Today I'll be looking at my second acquisition. I knew from the get-go I wanted to go in a different direction from the first one. I love history, and I decided I wanted to pick up some older coins. My tagline for this channel is Merging Coins and History. So while I will be stacking bullion, I will also be adding historical and commemorative coins. With the latter, it'll be basically anything that captures my fancy. When I decided to pick up some older coins, I was faced with the question, which ones? That is where this book right here came in really handy. United States Coins 2021, the official Red Book. This is a book that I stumbled upon by accident when I was buying some airtight capsules online, but I'm glad I found it. It's a treasure trove of information about American coins, their history, grading criteria, and price values. After taking a look at the various coins that I might choose from, I found myself gravitating towards silver dollars, both for their larger size and their captivating designs. Before we take a look at the dollar coins I picked up, let's first take a look at the history behind the American silver dollar. During the American Revolution, the medium of financial exchange was a mishmash of various things, ranging from British or Spanish coinage to paper notes issued by the Continental Congress or the various states, to barter goods such as furs, crops, livestock, and even bottles of whiskey. The paper money issued by the Continental Congress, known as continentals, was particularly notorious and rapidly lost its value. When the Constitution was drafted in the summer of 1787, a provision was added that banned states from issuing any money with the exception of gold and silver coinage. However, this restriction did not apply to the federal government, which was allowed to issue paper money in addition to coinage, although a good part of our history, the government issued paper money would be backed by either gold or silver. In 1792, Congress authorized the creation of the U.S. Mint, with the first official U.S. coins appearing in 1793. Within short order, the U.S. would have a full contingent of coinage. Half cents, full cents, half dimes, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and full dollars. All but the half cent and full cent coins were minted in silver, with a purity of 90%. This is a key point. I was surprised to learn that dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollars minted before 1965 were 90% in silver in their composition, and that they are actually worth far more for their melt value in silver than they are in the face value they have as U.S. coinage. In fact, at current spot prices, the melt value of a 90% silver dollar is $12.90, or almost 13 times the face value. Amazing. In addition, these older silver coins, depending on their condition and rarity, often have collectible value as well, and thus sell at a premium above their melt value. So let us now take a look at silver dollars specifically. The first silver dollar for the United States was authorized by the U.S. Congress in 1792. It is known as the flowing hair or draped bust dollar, was minted between 1794 and 1803, and it consisted of 416 grains of silver with a 0.8924 purity. The 1804 silver dollar is an interesting one. It's very rare. Only 15 of them are known to exist. And they were actually minted in the 1830s and were retroactively dated to 1804. And they were they were minted on a very limited basis, which contributes to the rarity which we know of them today. That would be it for silver dollars until 1836. The Gobrecht dollar was minted from 1836 to 1839, was designed by Christian Gobrecht. The front side, the obverse as it's known in the coin world, had seated liberty, and the reverse had the image of an eagle in flight. This also had a very limited mintage. Silver content was reduced to 412.5 grains of silver, but the purity was boosted slightly to 0.900 fine, which it would remain at all the way through 1964. In 1840, the first general circulation silver dollar since 1803 began to be minted. It's known as the Liberty Seated Dollar. This was minted from 1840 to 1873. As its name suggests, it had seated liberty on the front, and on the reverse it had the traditional eagle with arrows and olive branches. In 1873, the Congress discontinued the silver dollar. After 5 years, silver dollar production resumed in 1878 with the Morgan dollar. Designed by George Morgan, production would cease in 1905 due to low demand and supply. It would reappear briefly in 1921 along with the new peace dollar. The peace dollar was a commemorative coin, basically honoring the peace that was achieved after the end of World War I. It was designed by Anthony de Francisci and was minted up till 1935 with a gap in production from 1929 to 1933. No general circulation 90% silver dollar has been issued since. Now that we have looked at the history, let's return to my story. When it came time for me to pick up some silver dollars, which ones did I choose? Fortunately, the silver dollar coins that I found to be most aesthetically pleasing can also be found in excellent condition at reasonable prices. These would be the Morgan dollars and peace dollars. Since I wanted to get some nice ones on this journey, a long-term goal of mine, in addition to stacking bullion, is to get one or two nice examples of each coin that has been minted in U.S. history, or at least each coin that can be picked up at a reasonable price. So in this case, I decided to get a couple Morgan dollars and a couple peace dollars. I wanted them to be relatively nice in quality, and of course I would have to pay a bit of a premium over the melt price in order to get that. You could be saying that I was paying a price that included both the melt value and the collectible value, which is nice in a sense because unlike other collectibles, like say baseball cards, historical silver coins do have the melt value as a fallback in case collector interest goes away. In the end, I made 2 orders, both online, since we were in quarantine at the time, and the first one was from the national dealer APMEX, and I picked up 2 Morgan dollars from them, and then 2 peace dollars from the Portsmouth coin shop, which is a local coin shop located in Ohio that also sells online. And that's a shop whose YouTube's videos I watch from time to time. I will post a link to the Portsmouth shop in the description because I do like the idea of supporting local coin shops over large national dealers when possible. So, looking at the table here, I have the coins that I picked up. On the left-hand side, we have the Morgans from APMEX. First off, we have here, this is, let me look at the date real quick, an 1885 PCGS MS64 slabbed Morgan dollar. Just trying to get it centered here. Okay. Hopefully you all can see it's a little better with the light right there. Now, I don't feel a tremendous desire to get a lot of slabbed coins. I know oftentimes there could be a little premium, but I thought it would be nice to have one. And I was particularly taken with the Morgan dollar. I love the simplicity of the design. the figure of the woman on the front. And then on the back side, of course, we have to turn it around now, you have the eagle. So I decided to get a really nice one just to have it in my collection. And then I also picked up an 1880. This one is brilliant uncirculated. I picked it up as a, getting used to the camera here, I picked it up as basically a random year, and they gave me an 1880. There we go. A little difficulty getting the focus going here. All right, and then turning it over and around, we have the eagle. So very nice coin. That was my first two Morgans. Oh. And then over here I have the piece dollars. I got these from the Portsmouth coin shop. One of them is an AU, the other one a BU, at least in the judgment of the coin shop. Okay, there you go. That gives you a pretty good view of it there. All right. And then turning it over, you have a seated eagle, which is kind of a little neat change of pace from the general eagle with the arrows and the olive branches. This one is a 1923, and the other piece dollar is a 1922. There we go. Okay. This one, I think, is the AU. You can see there's a little bit of marking damage up there on the left-hand side. Flipping it over, once again, you have that seated eagle. Okay. So I was very excited when these came. These coins are basically 100 years old or more. Makes you wonder their story and where they've been and who's had them over time. Well, anyways, that's it, folks. Part 2 of my journey. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you are interested in viewing more of these videos, including Part 3 of my stacking journey, please hit subscribe. This is also a brand new channel, so every subscription is needed and much appreciated. Best wishes, and have a good day.